Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
What's up? Welcome to the College Football Show. I am your host, Rob Fox, joined by Dan Holloway, and we got Delco Dan manning the switches. Going to be chiming in quite a bit, I assume.
When you say manning the switches, do we have a hydraulic kit on our studio now? Can we fucking...
Yeah.
No, but I definitely am going to put that in plans for the new studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be like training day, and I'm going to be like, going up right before we start the show every time.
I didn't know you'd like to get wet.
Yeah, Angel Dust, Sherman Hemma.
Hemsley. Man.
It has been how many seconds? Note the time. Dan is disappointed in me.
I'm already mad. To be fair, though, I was mad from the previous show.
Yeah. Just spills over.
The NFL's big mad at Aaron Rodgers, but it's not. They're not going to be able to do anything about this, right?
What do you mean?
So, Aaron Rodgers, when asked back in the day whether or not he was vaccinated, he said, "Yeah, I'm immunized."
Yeah.
Which he's not.
Well,
I mean, he had like somebody pray for him or something. I don't know.
His homeopathic doctor was doing, I don't know, giving him oil or something to raise his antibodies.
Yeah, which is that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But and it's really stupid too. But here's the damning part for the NFL. So it turns out that Rodgers has been subverting the NFL's protocols the entire season.
Right.
Right.
He's been just telling anyone involved with his team and league to go fuck themselves, essentially.
For the past 2 years, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for sure. So here's the problem the NFL has, though. He petitioned them to accept his weirdo treatment as being vaccinated, and they denied it.
Yeah.
But they've still been letting him do whatever the fuck.
Right.
And his team is as well.
Yeah.
Like, he has been wearing masks, not daily testing, none of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen now with this. I mean, everybody's talking shit and they're all pissed off about it and blah, 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 trying to make a fucking issue out of it. But the NFL really doesn't have a play here.
No, I mean, he's just going to do the normal thing, right? Be out until he tests negative, essentially?
No, it's a 10-day quarantine if you're not vaccinated. So he's in that protocol now.
Yeah. But then he still has to test negative after that and shit. And he doesn't get paid. Not that he probably cares about that very much.
Right.
And it's worth noting, I've said this on other shows, I think I said it on RPR this morning, like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem to be against the COVID vaccine the way someone who's against mandates or not seeing enough data or a big rush.
He's like the Berkeley parent.
Yeah. Like, he's
version.
actually anti-vax.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, like, him and Shailene Woodley are going to rub their kids with crystals.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of giving them a polio vaccine.
But to be honest, in this scenario, I don't really blame him because I'm looking at the fucking protocol modifications for vaccinated and unvaccinated people. And this is something that the Players Association agreed to, by the way, which I mean, who's the president? It's that guy that John Gruden doesn't like, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
The one with the lips.
Oh.
Yeah, DeMaurice Smith.
Yeah.
That guy's got to be a huge fucking cunt to have agreed to any of this shit.
Yeah.
So testing required every day. That is what it is. I mean, a lot of places that have these requirements have the daily testing. Mask required at club facility and during travel. Now, of course, this is not rooted in science in any way because you are just as likely to get and transmit COVID. Like your personal effects from it, if you're vaccinated, are going to be way less than if you're not. That's correct. Unless you've had COVID before, then you're on the other side of that. But the getting and transmitting of it, the vaccine has no fucking effect on that shit. No market effect between the two groups. It just doesn't make any sense. But I don't care about all that. That's all the classic stupid bullshit we've been dealing with forever. Has nothing to do with your job, really, necessarily. It's just kind of annoying. Must remain physically distant from others in the club facility, must quarantine after high-risk exposure. Certain travel restrictions in effect. He can't be in the weight room if there's more than 15 people in there, although I don't think he lifts weights anyways.
Yeah. When did they agree to this? He was on vacation in Hawaii with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
Miles Teller.
Yeah.
I don't know when this was actually put into place, but these are the regulations. So players must be physically distant in the meal rooms. They can't eat with their fucking with their teammates at all. And if you're a staff member, not a player, you have to get a grab-and-go meal and leave the cafeteria.
This is the 2021 rules?
Yeah. Yep.
It sounds like last year's rules. So they just basically kept it in.
If you're not vaccinated, it's kept last year's rules, yeah.
So this isn't for everyone.
No, this is for
the unvaccinated
people, yeah. Or not fully vaccinated.
Okay. So if you're halfway through or something?
I guess. You're not allowed to do any any social sponsorship, media sponsorship, or marketing sponsorship. You can't do any of that.
A lot of this now to me sounds like Aaron Rodgers didn't get vaccinated because he doesn't want to do most of this stuff anyway.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And now he has a great excuse. Like, does he seem like he wants to eat with his teammates or
no
lift weights or be around people?
No, but you're not allowed to do anything outside of playing football to earn money. You're not allowed to do any social sponsorships, any media or marketing sponsorships.
I'm guessing he might be souring on making. I just assume Shailene Woodley is like slowly stripping him of all his material possessions.
Maybe, yeah, and jamming them up a clown hole or something. I don't know what people do. You're not allowed to use a sauna or steam room. You also may not leave the team hotel to eat in restaurants or interact with anyone outside the team traveling party during team travel. So, he's obviously been seen in public a lot. Hasn't been wearing a mask. Didn't do any of this shit during the preseason either. He hasn't. The league hasn't responded yet at whether or not they've been fining him for not doing any of this shit. To be honest, the NFL has the ability to fine players at least 50. It's about $15,000 on the first offense, and then they can fine them a maximum of $50,000 per offense. I think after that or something like that. He could go on like that for a while.
Yeah.
To be honest,
it was like Tracy Jordan with the FCC fines.
Yeah,
like
he just starts paying for his own advertising at that point.
Right.
Yeah. He gets paid while he's in isolation, and I don't think there's any question that he's been flaunting the rules the entire time, which I support. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's done something I actually liked.
But
the reason he's doing it is because he's a fucking hippie lunatic now.
Yeah. Like he's gone full hippie lunatic.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Broken clocks, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like he could be your kind of polar opposite brother.
Yeah. Yeah, we've taken different paths but arrived at the same place in a lot of ways. Let's see. Let's get on to college. Big week in college football.
There's some good games this week, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested.
I'm involved in your school.
No, I'm pretty interested to see your reaction to this first game.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Noon game, Missouri at Georgia. They're going down to the fucking
Between the hedges.
Between the hedges in Athens. Line is. When's the last time, other than maybe Vanderbilt, you saw an SEC line of fucking minus 39?
That's insane. And by the way, I love Mizzou here to cover 39.
Yeah, Georgia isn't like pumping out 60 points a game or anything.
Yeah, but they run the ball, and guess who cannot stop the run?
They can't stop the run, but you got to just think at some point they're just not going to lose by 40. I do love the over-under at 59.5 because Georgia's going to put up 50.
Yeah.
But Mizzou's going to get their 14 or 10 or
Why do you
something like
think
that. Because that's just what happens.
No, not against this Georgia defense.
They'll score. They will score something.
This game is going to be 45-0.
I know nothing, but I just saw the look on Rob's face when you said that and like terror in his eyes when he realized that they were not going to score on that Georgia defense.
45-0 is plausible. I'll give you that.
Do you think that? Georgia beat Arkansas 37-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's still not fucking 39-0.
Yeah, I mean Arkansas is decently better than Mizzou, like much better than Mizzou, to be honest.
Georgia's only played 2 games this year wherein they would have fucking covered this spread against UAB and fucking at the aforementioned Vanderbilt.
Right.
Which they covered in the first quarter.
True. I mean, Vanderbilt is not a football team. No. That is a collection of disabled children, right? They put them in uniforms for Make-A-Wish. It's just that's how it is.
Georgia has to be on schedule all game.
Yeah.
And they pretty much can't let up any points, aside from a field goal or two.
Yeah, I don't think this is a safe bet to make it at 39.
And the other thing that's worth mentioning for this line, and by the way, is that Missouri's got a guy who can consistently boot 50-yarders.
Sure.
So
kick your fucking field goal down 45-0.
They'll kick 2 or 3.
I would
Over
not. Just don't bet this game. I wouldn't bet this game at all.
I love the over.
Definitely do not. No, I hate the over.
Love the over.
If anything, just stay away from this game. Like Mizzou's gonna get fucking clowned.
Of course they are. Yeah, they're going to get clowned, but there's a difference between clowned and 45 to nothing.
They beat Vanderbilt by 9.
Yeah, Mizzou's bad. Mizzou's very bad.
They gave up 28 points to Vanderbilt, bro.
Yeah, it's not good.
Dude, they can. I swear to God, they cannot.
I don't
want
wanna-
the worst rush defense in the history.
I don't want to
of
bet
football.
this, but I'm 100% watching this game, and the whole time I'm gonna look back through all of our history and find a picture of you crying. And I'm going to have it on the wall right next to my projector screen. I'm just going to be pounding off the whole time like, yeah, he's fucking miserable. Yeah, because this is going to be a rough day for you.
Yeah, so what's nice about this, a lot of people were texting me after the Braves won the World Series, and they were like, man, your kid's fucking spoiled. He's been alive for a month, and he already gets a championship. And I was like, well, don't worry. I'm raising him to be a Mizzou fan. And Mizzou's kind of like, that line in Patton about the Romans, the slave follows the general. Mm-hmm. And all glory is fleeting. Mizzou sports does that to you when your other teams do well. Like if you're a Chiefs fan or a Cardinals fan or for me a Braves fan, Mizzou follows you on your parade, and they're just like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah. To remind you that you're just a man or whatever. Yeah.
Don't forget they gave up 62 to Tennessee.
And did they lose by 39?
Because they put up 24 because Tennessee doesn't have a defense.
What happened to our school, Rob? Like, I haven't been paying attention.
Missouri's good at football like 1 out of every 50 years.
No, we were building to be like a second-tier big school.
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
We won the SEC North 2 years in a row. East, whatever.
Yeah. We were in the SEC
North,
championship game twice in a row. But look, Drink got us on the right track. All right, we just got the 5-star number 1 wide receiver in the country, stole him from Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley. And we
keep drinking drink. Dude.
Yeah, I am still drinking drink. Drink. Look, this is worse than I thought it was going to be, but Drink still has Barry Odom's shitty rosters of like 40th ranked recruiting classes right now. Mm-hmm.
Texas is going to come into the SEC and fucking whoop on Missouri next year. That's how bad Missouri is.
They didn't in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Texas.
You guys have been on a downward spiral ever since the poop swastika.
We really have. Is
Yeah,
that what,
that is
that
what
what
did it.
changed us?
The pooped swastika.
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the protests at Mizzou?
No. Oh, after
Like 2015, right?
after that Brown, what's his name?
Michael Brown. No,
Brown,
this was like a year or two after that. It was kind of inspired in part by that, but you don't know about it? Cool, because I don't want to talk about it.
Can we talk about the poop swastika?
The poop swastika is fine, so that
offset everything.
that's kind of what kicked off everything.
That
yeah,
wasn't on campus.
it was in a dorm, and like these like activists, this black activist group on campus, like freaked the fuck out and started having all these protests because of the poop swastika and the guy who
They were
was
they were just protesting one dude that got fucking hammered and drew a swastika and poop.
Yeah, some guy who was off his meds. They were like their whole thing was like, think how comfortable this guy had to be to know that he could draw a swastika and poop on a wall and get away with it. And I
So
was
does that mean that every individual's behavior is a reflection of what society will
Yes.
tolerate? That's
Essentially,
fucking
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb. I was like, he didn't sign it. Like he didn't stay there and like be like,
Yeah.
look at my work. It was some kid off his meds and he ran away as soon as he did it.
It caused like months and months of protests. We had
It was like a month.
Was it Melissa Click?
Melissa Click was the professor.
A bunch of professors just losing their fucking minds.
She got fired, though.
Adding to the protest. It caused Mizzou admissions to go down significantly because of it was just such a. I mean,
The football team claimed to go or threatened to go on strike, which was like the most pussy bullshit ever. Like, actually, no, I'm happy. Fuck my Big 12 accomplishments. Let it go down into a D6 school. Fuck Mizzou. Yeah, I'm off that.
Didn't Gary Pinkel get like a heart attack from this?
Ray Finkel.
No, he had cancer, and I think he announced his retirement early to take the heat off the team.
Okay.
I will now be a new college football fan. Just bring me to your school and have a good time, and
Just pick Bama.
I'll cheer.
Just go Bama. Just pick Bama.
No.
Anyway, next up we got Ohio State at Nebraska. Ohio State is only a 15-point favorite here. Over under 66.
Yeah, Nebraska is a super tough place to play. You could tell by their 1-5 record at home this year.
Right.
Ohio State, yeah, minus 15. They're definitely going to win this.
It feels like it. I mean, look, Nebraska. They gave like Michigan State and Michigan tight games, but Michigan State.
Both of those teams suck.
Yeah, that's not the same as this Ohio State offense, and 15 feels like a reflection of what Nebraska did to those other two schools.
CJ Stroud is really, I mean, he's played some shitty schools, Tulsa, Rutgers, Maryland, but Indiana. But even against Penn State, like 65% completion rate, he looked good. That whole shit, I mean, he's fine. He's not going to be the best quarterback they've ever had or anything like that, but he's not going to get beat by fucking Nebraska. They're probably going to win this game by 18 points. I'm going fucking hard. Ohio State minus 15. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be safe and buy a point just for like a push situation, that's probably fine. I think you're right. I think 18 to 20 is the minimum here.
Yeah.
I think they fucking roll Nebraska. Mm-hmm. What do you feel about the over-under? Because, I mean, Ohio State's probably going to stack up points.
Yeah, but I mean, Nebraska's not a big scoring team, and Ohio State is. They usually have a pretty decent defense. I mean, their defense has not been the same this year as it has in previous years. I mean, Penn State, that's always a tough game, but giving up, I guess some of them are garbage to Maryland, but 20 points to Tulsa. They haven't been the lockdown team that you expect. Like
right.
You would expect Georgia-style defense out of them in most years. Not necessarily the same.
Maybe not as
Maybe not only giving up 40 run yards a game,
right.
but they don't give up a lot of points typically on defense.
And
they're pretty good at that.
They've always been a pretty good havoc-creating defensive unit between sacks and turnovers and stuff like that. Yeah, Georgia's defense is. I mean, that's
next level.
It's suffocating. Like they'll get all that havoc and turnovers and stuff, but a lot of times they won't even. Like, when are they going to do it? Because you're 3 and out so fucking fast that it doesn't need to happen. That over-under is interesting to me. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad bet, though, the over. I don't know. Dan, what do you think?
I mean, Nebraska sucks.
Yeah.
There's no reason. I don't want to be too kind of public, which I kind of seem to lean with our outside the top 25 this week. But yeah, I don't really see Nebraska keeping this close.
Yeah, I think this is the part of the Ohio State schedule. So what, they had their early loss.
Yeah.
And now they're just butt fucking people.
I mean, they're going to end up 10-1.
Yeah, it all comes down to their game against Michigan State now. They beat Michigan State. They go to
They're not going to lose against Michigan State. I mean, I think what it comes down to is the fucking Big Ten championship, right?
Yeah,
and the Michigan game too.
Yeah,
which they're not going to lose because they haven't lost that in.
And the Big Ten championship game is going to be what, the fucking Gophers,
right?
Or Wisconsin.
Either way, not a big deal. Their two biggest games left. It's the Big Ten championship is at best their third biggest game.
We haven't even talked about the CFP stuff.
Yeah, we went
and
into
how
it.
Cincinnati is like
getting ass fucked.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. Dan, that's why we named the outside the top 25 Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
because those schools are never going to leave the trailer park.
No,
doesn't matter how smart you are.
Nope. At least they're ahead of Michigan, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe Oregon is ahead of them. I can't believe Oregon's ahead of Ohio State either.
They beat Ohio State.
Who gives a shit?
That
Oregon
should matter.
Sucks.
That should still matter.
They only have one loss, and they beat Ohio State.
Head-to-head should matter.
Who did they lose to?
Stanford.
There we go.
I don't care, though.
On like a Friday.
They still beat Ohio State.
They beat Ohio State real early in the season before they had any shit figured out. I think is CFP meant to be a reflection of how good your team has played or how good your team is? Because if it's how good your team has played, then why the fuck is Cincinnati behind either one of those guys?
Right. So the answer to your question is it just depends on the team.
Yeah.
Because they rank them just based on how they feel like ranking each team.
Yeah, Alabama doesn't have a top 10 win.
I mean,
Alabama.
The AP is a points-based system. So at least you can track the math back and see if it makes any sense.
Right.
The CFP is just like, what? They're playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Shaking up a 12-sided die and throwing it out? Or
they're
what?
like, this is a poor school, so no.
Yeah.
Do you know, it would be amazing for college football for Cincinnati to be in the CFP.
Yeah.
And actually win a game, too. If they went to the national championship, that would be huge.
Just something different.
A non-Power 5 conference team that's, I guess they're going into a Power 5 conference, right?
Right.
But,
soon to be G6.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, technically.
The Big 12 is just going to not be a power conference once we get there.
Yeah.
The Big Ten is eventually probably not even that going to take that long. They're eventually going to poach like Iowa State and Kansas, and then it's just going to be over again.
Yeah, whatever. There's nothing we can do about that. This next game, Wake Forest, who's ranked 9th in the country, is getting 2.5 points against an unranked North Carolina team with fucking 4 losses.
Fucking dog. I
Man,
love.
they really like fucking Mac Brown or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Because this is retarded to me.
Yeah,
the over under 76.5 in this game.
Give me Wake, man. I'm just rooting for Wake Forest at this point. Like, they're the team I want to adopt for the rest of the year.
They're going to be the ACC champion.
Yeah.
If they go undefeated and win the ACC, are they in?
No.
Because they're not Clemson?
But yes, more or less. I mean, who have they beat? I mean, they'll end up having to play Clemson. So I guess if they win this game and beat NC State, and NC State is still ranked at the time, which is no guarantee, right?
They won't play Clemson in the championship.
Nope.
No, they can't. No, it would be fucking shit. Who is the Pittsburgh? I think is the leader over there right now.
It's a shit show.
Yeah.
But yeah, they play Clemson November 20th.
But NC State could. I mean, is there any chance they could lose to Florida State this week?
NC State's going to roll Florida State, I think.
So they're probably still going to be ranked. So that's one ranked win all year. Mm-hmm. I don't fucking know.
The ACC's a shit show.
God damn it, dude. I'm not betting for fucking Wake Forest in football. I can tell you that.
Oh, man, I think Wake Forest wins.
They probably do win, but I'm not putting money on Wake Forest in football.
Isn't it cute, though, how the college football playoff put Wake in front of Notre Dame just so it's kind of a shot at Cincinnati?
Yeah, that
And
was
then
clearly intentional.
Also, all the teams like SMU and Houston that were ranked in the AP that were going to be on Cincinnati's schedule, conveniently not ranked anymore. That is by design.
How many wins against top 10 teams does Alabama have?
None.
0.
Okay. I mean, they beat 11 and 12, but not current 11 and 12, right?
Right.
They beat 11, 12, and 14 this year, but they've got a loss. Michigan State has beat what ranked teams?
Michigan.
Miami, who's not ranked anymore, I don't think.
No. They're
And
not
Michigan.
ranked anymore. So Alabama has beaten, in the current rankings, let's see, the 16 team, the 14 team. Have they played Mississippi State yet? And the 17th ranked team. So Alabama has 3 ranked wins as far as CFP goes. Although Mississippi State being ranked, as we covered yesterday, is fucking insane.
Now, Cincinnati's got a win against a top 10 team.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're ranked 6th behind Ohio State and Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just want to see more out of Cincinnati.
And Michigan State has beat Miami. That's it. Michigan. Yeah. Well, Cincinnati's got no shot,
They got no shot.
right? Because they don't play anybody else.
They need complete chaos.
They need Georgia to beat Bama in the SEC championship game.
And Eastern Carolina
Actually,
to get
no.
in the top 25.
No, you know what they need before that? They need Auburn to beat Bama in the Iron Bowl, and then Georgia to beat Bama or Auburn or whatever in the SEC championship game. They need Michigan State. I don't know what would be better, Michigan State winning out or Michigan State beating Ohio State and Ohio State winning
Michigan State
out.
can lose a lot.
Michigan
they can
State
lose to Purdue this week.
Michigan State's not going to beat Ohio State.
Yeah, so they
That's
need
not happening.
whatever. So
Actually, I don't think Michigan State will beat Penn State either.
they need Oklahoma to lose a game.
Yes.
The only teams,
Because Oklahoma will jump them for sure.
the only teams that
God, this is so stupid.
it's
man.
so fucking dumb.
Every fucking year with this horse shit. And you finally give them a chance. Cincinnati goes out and books Notre Dame, they're not fucking Alabama, but they're a top 10 team every fucking year.
Every year.
And to be fair,
And they beat them easily. Not easily, but
on
they
the
beat them
road.
handily on the road.
On Notre Dame, where they get all the calls, and they beat them by 2 scores.
And to be fair, they also scheduled who was should have been a ranked Indiana at the time, but Indiana turned out to be shitty. But I mean, like, they thought it was going to be a good game or a useful game.
This is the kind of shit that makes everybody that isn't an Alabama or Clemson or fucking Ohio State fan just want to stop watching college football. This is the kind of shit that makes people want to stop watching
If
because
this is how baseball worked, the Braves wouldn't have been in the playoffs.
yeah, exactly. It's fucking horse shit. So I'm not betting on Wake Forest though, because fuck them. Next up is Liberty at Ole Miss. Somehow Ole Miss is only giving up 9.5 points against Liberty.
Liberty
All right,
can
don't
score.
start with that bullshit, dude. It's Liberty. They're fucking they're walking on water up there and shit.
Listen, in the words of Scott Van Pelt, give me liberty or give me debt.
Debt?
Debt.
That's not how the quote goes.
It's a little pun.
Now, Liberty, they're the ones that like Jesus.
Yeah,
and
they're
hate gay people.
They're the
right?
Falwell school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Massive.
they don't even really like straight sex very much. Either.
Yeah, they just covered up a lot of rape.
That's accurate as well.
Yeah, they did do that. Yeah.
I'll take Ole Miss at 9.5.
I don't know about the line. That's probably safe. I do like the over because Liberty can score and Ole Miss doesn't necessarily play
Is
defense.
Corral healthy? Didn't he get carted out last week?
Let's
That's a
check.
good question. I don't know.
Because that is a pretty big factor if he's not playing.
Injured in the first half against Auburn. Let's see. Let's see if he's good.
I'm not seeing any info on whether or not he's going to be playing.
It looks like 2 hours ago, Yeah.
Well, we'll see. If he's starting, then I'm going to bet for him. If he's not, then I probably won't bet this game. I might take the over. Well, I probably won't even take the over at 67. But I don't think they would have. Would this line be the same if he wasn't playing?
No, I think this would probably be closer to 20 if he was playing. Also, Hugh Freeze, revenge game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to bet with their starting quarterback on then.
I like the over because Ole Miss will score even with their backup. Mm-hmm. It's a Lane Kiffin team. They'll score points, and Liberty can score. So I think an over under 70 there is pretty friendly.
Well, it's 67, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. Next is Illinois at Minnesota. Don't give a fuck about this game. This seems more like an outside game. What do you guys think about this?
Dan's actually, first off, is mad that Minnesota's ranked.
Yeah. The second you lose to Bowling Green, you should not be eligible to be ranked all year.
Fair enough, yeah. But Illinois, every time they've played one of the traditional Big Ten teams, traditional, when I say traditional, I mean teams like Wisconsin that they usually do one thing good, and it's defense. Mm-hmm. They've just gotten shit stomped. They get Penn State a rough game, but that's when homeboy got fucked up.
hurt.
Right? Clifford got hurt. So
I've been riding Minnesota the last couple of weeks on outside the top 25.
I mean, Illinois lost to Rutgers by 6 points.
I know, but they beat Penn State in 9 overtimes.
That game is clearly a fluke, and their other game is fucking Charlotte. Fuck that shit.
And they beat Nebraska.
First game of the year.
I don't care about Nebraska, neither does anyone that even goes to Nebraska. No one cares about Nebraska anymore.
Don't let Burke get hot. That's all I'm saying.
I'll take Minnesota down to 13.5.
I'm fine with 14 because it's 14.5 right now. So, yeah, I'd buy a half point again just for a push, but I think Minnesota kicks the shit out of them. I actually think
Illinois covers 14.5.
This over might hit, too. It's only 44, and for what it's worth, Minnesota dropped 41 on Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely drop 40 on Illinois.
Yeah, and they dropped 34 on Maryland, who also isn't a very – I mean, yeah. I think I like the over, and I like Minnesota minus 14. I'll buy a half point there.
Yeah. Pittsburgh at Duke. Pittsburgh's given up 21. That's probably about right.
Also shouldn't be ranked.
No, I mean, they're 25th, though. I mean, 16 to 25 is no different than 26 to 35, is it?
Yeah, well, Houston could be ranked right now. Gives Cincinnati another ranked game.
That's true, I suppose, although the CFP did that on purpose. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're talking about affecting an outcome where the person intentionally unaffecting that outcome is doing it on purpose to stop that from happening.
The entire bottom half of the college football rankings is just to jack off the top half.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's just to make it look make them look better.
This is probably the right the right line. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably tease this. I'll take Pittsburgh down to 15, and I'll take the over or the under up to 70 because I don't think they're going to score that many points.
Yeah, I'd agree with both of that. I don't necessarily like betting this game straight up on either account.
Yeah. The next game, though, this is super funny, and this kind of goes to our agitation during this entire fucking episode so far. Michigan State, according to the CFP, the third best team in the country is at Purdue, and they're giving up 3 points. Mm-hmm. Fuck you, man. This is bullshit. This is absolute dog shit. Fuck Purdue and their fucking cancer kid nonsense. They
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. But from time to time, they will pull some shit out of their ass, right?
Already did it this year. Iowa.
Yeah.
Blew their load.
No, I mean, Iowa sucks, though.
Yeah, I was. What did they?
They're a pretender.
Yeah.
They exposed them.
They exposed them. And the same way that I exposed some little kid outside earlier, he was talking shit and I whipped his ass. He thought he was tough and I exposed him. You know what I mean? Anyways, this is so much disrespect to all the other teams in and around the top 10.
Yeah.
That Michigan State is that high, honestly. And that Michigan is still up there, but that's just brand recognition. That's all it is. That's like they're leading in the polls because of people know how to spell their names already. That's really all it is. This Michigan State is definitely going to beat Purdue by more than 3 points, though, right?
I picked Purdue on the outside the top 25 because sometimes we like to pick an unranked upset. I think Purdue.
They win a lot of these games at home,
I
but
think-
they've already won one this year. So do they get two?
Maybe well, here's the thing though. Usually they win that game and they have to blow a huge load because it's like Ohio State. Okay, these are not of Ohio State quality teams that they're upsetting here. So, I mean, Vegas thinks this game's pretty even. So here's the thing: you get on a neutral field that Michigan State would be not even a touchdown favorite. You get like a 3-point bump for being at home. Fuck it, dude. Purdue fucking wins.
All right, you've convinced me. I'll bet for Purdue. I'll bet the Purdue money line, actually. Why not? But yeah, it goes to show what you're talking about is absolutely true. This is all a fucking jerk-off session.
Yeah.
For these dudes that they seem to think that having the biggest name teams is going to maximize their profit and viewership. Atlanta and Houston in this World Series fucking killed ratings from all like the past 10 fucking World Series?
Well, it was up from 2020. I think it was down from 19, but it was like within the range. And also, I mean, I guess the Rays were playing in the World Series, but the fucking Dodgers were playing in the World Series.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was COVID. Like, I don't know why COVID would affect a TV rating that much.
Not for baseball. For basketball, it did.
Yeah, but that's they were playing, I guess, in a weirder environment than.
Yeah, it was like they were playing in this room.
Right.
Basically. Anyways, next up is Tulsa at Cincinnati. Cincinnati minus 22.5. I mean, look, if you're Cincinnati, you've got to go out and win by fucking 25 to 30 points every game.
Minimum.
Because, so I'm going to take Cincinnati at 22.5, but.
Yeah. Dude, I like the over because I think Cincinnati's going to have to score 50 points.
Yeah.
Like, they can't take their foot off the gas.
If they don't blow people out and stop them on defense, then it's just not going to happen for them.
Because what did the CFP committee say, Dan, that they like had a couple close games recently and that kind of hurt them or something?
No, they just said, they like that Notre Dame win, but just got to see a little bit more, Just got to see a little bit more.
Good Lord. Here's Cincinnati's remaining schedule. They have 4 games. What more do you want to see? So you have Tulsa, great. That's a shitty team.
Yep.
At UCF, even shittier.
USF.
Or USF,
We
sorry.
already played them. They already boat raced us.
SMU and ECU.
SMU is ranked in the AP. SMU is a good team.
Not ranked anymore.
In the AP?
Well,
Yeah.
moving forward, probably not.
Yeah.
But CFP is all that matters. They don't care about the AP.
Yeah, I know. SMU is a good team, though, and then at ECU. So they're playing 3 of their 4 last games aren't just against teams that aren't good. They're against, bottom-of-the-barrel shit teams.
And then they'll play Houston in the American Athletic Conference Championship.
So they have 2 games left against decent teams. And, I mean, even against the decent teams, they have to win by, 25. They got to win. They got to hit this over by themselves.
I mean, Houston's probably going to be, not 10-1 by then, too? Not against anybody good, but.
Yeah, and their losses to Tech, which is pretty bad.
If we finish strong, we'll be a decent win on the resume, but.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough unless Oklahoma loses, probably.
Yeah.
God damn, that's so fucking stupid. Well, anyways, I'm definitely taking Cincinnati over Tulsa at 22.5. Next up, Navy at Notre Dame. In some years, I would balk at this minus 21 for Notre Dame, but 1, they need to win, and 2, Navy is not the Navy that we were used to.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with 21. I mean, I probably won't bet this game, to be honest, because it's fucking boring as shit. But you're probably safe if you're a Notre Dame fan and you want to fucking put some money on this to keep yourself interested in the game. I'd probably go with Notre Dame.
And, I mean, Notre Dame not super out of the playoff conversation yet. 1 loss Notre Dame. And it's to Cincinnati, who will suddenly be considered good if it means putting Notre Dame in the playoff.
Yeah, for sure. Notre Dame is not enough to get Cincinnati's head over water, but Cincinnati's certainly enough.
Yeah. That would be the ultimate, is if Notre Dame gets in the playoff over fucking Cincinnati.
God.
Cincinnati would have to lose a game, though, right?
Yes.
You would think.
I would hope.
Like, if it ended Cincinnati 5, Notre Dame 4, what a spit in the fucking face, man. Jesus Christ. That'd be funny, though. Shit. Here's another tough game. Oklahoma State at West Virginia in Morgantown. Oklahoma State's 11th, but that's a soft 11. And it's we've seen it this year. West Virginia is a tough place to play. It's Oklahoma State -3.5. What do you think about this one?
Oh man, I don't trust Oklahoma State. They obviously they beat the shit out of Kansas last week, which Dan was convinced they wouldn't do.
Yeah.
What was the line?
I think it was like 40. No, I'm just kidding. It was 31 or 32.
Yeah.
They cover?
They won 55-3.
Okay, so they covered.
Yeah.
I mean, West Virginia beat Virginia Tech at home. They beat fucking Oklahoma almost beat Oklahoma on the road, 16-13.
That was when Oklahoma was still trotting Spencer Rattler out.
Yeah.
They were awful.
Yeah, they were bad. But, I mean, just Iowa State, that's, to me, not that impressive of a win, but they were a ranked team. Still are a ranked team, aren't they?
Yes, I think, well...
They may be out of the CFP.
So, yeah, I mean, West Virginia's been kind of schizophrenic, right? Like, losing to Tech.
But they play good teams at home very well. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you see that reflected in the line. 3.5 is not a lot of points. You know, if this game was in Oklahoma, you would expect this to be like a fucking 9.5, probably.
Right.
And for that reason, there's too many variables. I'm staying away from this one.
It's just a weird game. The over-under is interesting again, 49. I mean, look, like last week, obviously it's Kansas, but Oklahoma State scored 55, and last week West Virginia scored 38 on Iowa State, which is that's not necessarily easy to do. So that's interesting. But, I mean, both these teams are just really kind of – I know Oklahoma State's 11-1, but or at 7-1, ranked 11th, but they seem to me a little bit inconsistent too. I don't love this game at all. Yeah, I'd stay away.
Yeah, I'm not betting this.
If you do bet something, the over/under, I would say the over would be the way to go. But I don't know. The next one I actually love.
Yeah.
Baylor on the road at TCU, -6.5.
I think Baylor still got a little fucking manicness to them from winning the fucking basketball championship. They've really overperformed this year, in my opinion. And TCU, that's a bit of a rivalry game for them.
It is a rivalry game.
I mean, you know, it's not like rivalry week or anything, but that's a pretty big game for them. I think Baylor -6.5. I think Baylor goes into TCU and whoops their ass.
Yep.
Especially since, you know, Gary Patterson is no longer there.
Yeah.
Got fired midweek or beginning of the week.
Did he get fired, or is he closing out the season, or is he just gone now?
No, he gone.
Okay. Yeah, and Baylor.
They bought him a bus ticket. He lives on the streets in San Francisco now. Baylor's looked pretty good this year, to be honest.
They beat BYU by 14, beat West Virginia by 25. Obviously, murdered Kansas. That's whatever.
Is there any way to get the BYU versus Baylor game every year and have it called the Battle of the Weirdos or something?
Right.
Like you just get some kind of weird prize, like a virgin, 72 virgins or something?
What I would like is, you know how in college basketball, the Big East, so like the old Big East was like, you know, Syracuse, UConn, all this stuff. But the Big East then shifted to just all the Catholic schools that play basketball, Marquette, Georgetown, that type of shit. Creighton, I think, that type of stuff. What should happen is we should have a conference that's all the weirdo fundamentalist Christian schools that aren't Catholic. So like Liberty, BYU, Baylor.
And they all start like suicide bombing each other. Like ISIS gets a team as well.
Yeah.
Just let them all go.
Yeah, just all the fucking creepiest like fundamental Christian schools.
Either way, Baylor's going to win this game, probably by a score, so you're probably good on that 6.5. Auburn at Texas A&M. This is a top 15 matchup that doesn't feel like one, to be honest. I mean, these teams are okay.
They're okay.
This will probably be a really good game, though. Texas A&M's given up 4.5. I don't know about that, to be honest.
So this is I know you like, it's like, oh, are A&M and Auburn that good or whatever? This is actually a game with fucking huge implications, right? Because right now A&M is in the driver's seat for the SEC West. They have 2 losses, but one of them's out of conference, and the one win, and they beat Bama.
Yep.
So if A&M wins out, they're in the SEC championship game. This is a huge fucking game for them.
Yeah.
And Auburn is in the exact same way. They're in the driver's seat because if they win this game, then they have to win out, right? Like they control their destiny.
Right.
Both these teams control their destiny. The game is at A&M. I think, man, 4.5. This could be like a 2-point game or something like that. I kind of think A&M wins. Like I kind of think. I know they've had a rough year or whatever. Auburn, they lost on the road to Penn State.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game, but 4.5 is too much. I think it's a closer game than that. I think this is a final possession game, and I never bet more than 2.5 on a final possession game. Maybe 3 if I'm fine with pushing.
Yeah,
Right.
Auburn's going to cover.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So fuck that game.
It's gonna be a great game, or at least maybe
It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, competitive wise, I don't think anybody's going to get blown out here. Idaho State at BYU.
no line.
There's not going to be any line. There's also not going to be any booze or carbonated beverages.
No.
At this because they're too spicy for mermans.
Well, and now milk is so expensive. I don't know what they're gonna drink.
This drink fucking breast milk.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because every 28-year-old woman in anywhere near Provo, Utah, has 4 children and big ass fake titties.
Yeah, I believe BYU actually has a wet nursing program.
Like you can get a degree in it.
Yeah. They just teach you how to constantly lactate.
Yeah, why not? Shit. If I could learn how to do that, I'd be doing it all the time. Like, what kind of flex is that? You're in an argument with somebody and something like, you're just like, you know what? Fuck you. And you start fucking lactating. And they're like, whoa, what the fuck is happening here? I'm going to call the fucking police. All right, cool. So next up, a game that also doesn't really matter. I guess it does in a way to keep Wisconsin near the top of the Big Ten. But Wisconsin at Rutgers, -13. They need to win by more than that, to be honest. But it's in Piscataway, which it's a tough place to go play. Rutgers doesn't fuck around on its home field. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. I'm surprised Rutgers has won 4 games this year.
Yeah, I mean the bottom half of the Big Ten sucks, and they've got.
They beat Temple,
they
Syracuse.
did beat Michigan, or no, they lost Michigan. I'm sorry,
Delaware and Illinois.
Right. Actually, at Syracuse is a more impressive win than you would think, if only because Syracuse has beaten a lot of mediocre teams at home this year.
Yeah, but that's like beating Purdue at home.
Right.
That's like, no, there's no transitive property in sports. Wisconsin should beat them by more than 13. And they also, with the normal Wisconsin defense, you should expect Rutgers to score like maybe 12 points, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not betting this game, though. It's ugly.
It's an ugly, ugly fucking game. Yeah, I mean, I think Wisconsin by 2 scores makes sense.
Probably, but I'm not. I don't want to be invested in this shit. Mississippi State at Arkansas. This is actually a really good matchup.
17th ranked Mississippi State.
Yeah.
A dog on the road.
Yep. This actually happens a lot for the middle of the SEC. Mm-hmm. You often see a ranked SEC team going up against another SEC team on the road, and they're a dog. That happens a lot. So that's not too surprising. I don't know what happens here. I mean, Arkansas has been on the downswing, right?
They haven't had a good middle of the season.
They started pretty hot, and then lost. I mean, they had Georgia, Ole Miss, and fucking Auburn. Three
and look, Ole
tough.
Miss was a last-second ballsy go for 2 at the end of the game instead of forcing overtime. And Ole Miss is good, and it was on the road. Auburn, also a good team. I guess you don't like losing by that margin at home.
Yeah, no, that's rough at home. But they bounced back against a D2 school. But fuck,
right.
Man, I don't know. I mean, Mississippi State, they've been okay this year. That Will Rodgers kid, not from the Will Rodgers Foundation, different guy.
No, I mean, look.
They beat Kentucky, but I don't think Kentucky was ever that good. They did what they were supposed to against Vanderbilt. They beat A&M. You know what I mean?
Beating A&M was impressive. Losing to Memphis is bad.
But isn't Memphis one of those teams that can just sneak up and score a bunch of points sometimes?
They're not, Dan.
Like Houston, I know Houston is one of those teams. Is Memphis like that at all?
It depends. They score a lot of points at home, but on the road they kind of suck.
Either way, Mississippi State's been. I mean, both of these teams have been back and forth all year. I don't know. I tend to trust Vegas, so they think Arkansas is going to win this game, and they think it's probably going to be by a score and a half or something like that. So tease it up, Arkansas plus 11, maybe. I don't know.
I like Arkansas. I like the line. I think this is a good bounce back game for Arkansas. Mississippi State, kind of a fraud. I think Arkansas wins by a touchdown, maybe 10 points.
What do you think, Dan?
I think Arkansas kind of rolls, right?
That's what it feels like. I just don't trust. I don't trust Mississippi State.
No.
And like, who has like what's the last? I mean, they beat A&M. That's impressive, right? But they beat Kentucky, which Kentucky's not a bad team.
Lost to a really bad LSU team.
Yeah. So they've had a good, they've had a good last 4 weeks. Obviously, they got worked by Bama, but whatever.
Don't ask me that. I have like a vendetta against Mississippi State. So
I know you do. I don't know. I think Arkansas. This is one of those games where like the SEC middle eats each other. I like Arkansas.
Speaking of shitty teams, NC State at Florida State. NC State it shouldn't be 19th probably. I mean, I don't. Who the fuck have they beaten?
Clemson.
that's it.
Clemson's an unranked team.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, they beat the shit out of Boston College, who is on a major slide. But yeah, I guess NC State hasn't really beaten anyone that impressive. But Florida State sucks.
Yeah, Florida State's bad. NC State, even on the road, that's not a very long trip down to Tallahassee, to be honest.
I like NC State here.
Yeah, I like NC State.
Minus what, 2.5?
Yeah, it's
Fucking
if it's at 2.5.
Florida State last week against Clemson, all-time bad beat. If you had FSU, had the ball, time expired. They were down by what, like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
3
the
or
line
4.
covered by like half a point.
Yeah. Well, the guy obviously he goes for the pitch, or not the pitch, but like the lateral. Clemson falls on it, scores a touchdown with no time with the time expired, and then they cover. Just a bet. Like, you should feel bad about yourself if you bet on Clemson.
I did. That was one of my wins for outside the top 25, and I feel good about myself.
Yeah, you can spend money feeling better about yourself, the money that you made from the bet. Next up, LSU at Alabama. I think somebody asked me today, is there any chance that LSU gives Alabama a game? No. There's no chance. But 28.5
That's
points.
a lot.
Not this year's Alabama.
I like the over.
Last year's Alabama,
Yeah.
I would definitely have taken this bet, but not this year.
I like the over. 66.5.
Yeah, the over's good. I'll take the over.
Let's see what I want to see what S&P Plus has this at, because that is an interesting. It feels a little low.
What, the over?
Yeah.
I mean, LSU historically has pretty good defenses, right? But
Not lately.
they're not able to score.
Yeah.
Like they have been in some years. But I mean, they put up fucking 49 on Florida. Didn't look great against Ole Miss. Kentucky, Auburn.
LSU can score. LSU can score. They're kind of the inverse.
They're probably going to score 20 points.
Yeah, they're kind of like the reverse of what they usually are. They've got a pretty good offense, and like their defense sucks.
Reverse cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Dan?
Sorry, what was again?
God damn it. LSU at Alabama.
I like LSU to cover 4 touchdowns. So you get that half point, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
What do you think about the over/under 66.5?
I'll take over. I'll take the over. Yeah, I think this is kind of like a 42 to 28 game.
Sounds right.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it's more. It's not as close as that score.
No.
Yeah.
No.
This is one of my favorite games of the week.
This is
how
crazy.
stupid it is. Tennessee, unranked Tennessee, at 18th ranked Kentucky, Tennessee -1. What the fuck kind of stupid shit is this? I mean, I know Kentucky's not real or anything, but can't Vegas and the CFP just get together
Right.
and figure out how to maximize profits? Because it can't be this. It's too. If you advertise something in a different way to the same audience, usually it causes something called paralysis by analysis, which means the customer is confused, they don't understand what's happening, and because they're thinking too hard about it, they don't end up spending money on it. That is a
Right.
real marketing principle that happens, and college football is doing it lately by trying to prop up the Power 5 conferences.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. God damn it.
People will watch, like, I don't think college basketballs, and it's not the same animal, but I don't think college basketballs ranking or ratings are hurt by mid-major teams being ranked and being good. Like, people like to see Cinderellas, and they like to see other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the year that Kentucky was good with Benny Snell, that was a big deal. Like, people are paying attention to Kentucky football. Whenever teams that aren't normally – the teams that are always good, their fans are going to watch no matter what.
Right.
The teams that suck, when they become super popular or super good in a season or a stretch of 2 or 3 or 4 seasons, you created a whole new fan base. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I'm not betting this game, though. Fuck these guys.
Oh, I love this game. Tennessee – Dan, how does Josh Heupel do against ranked teams?
Not great.
Not fucking great. He's lost all the ranked games he's played this year. Josh Heupel power fucks shitty teams, makes you think he's an illusionist in that way, and then he comes up against.
It's like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he comes up against a competent team and they lose. Kentucky fucking money line.
Okay.
Also, I don't think Kentucky's going to lose 3 games in a row. They've lost their last 2 games. I think they stopped the bleeding here. I think this is a weird line.
It reminds me of an old assassination manual I read. And it said, start the bleeding, stop the breathing, and promote established shock. Those are the most important things when you're attacking somebody. Start the bleeding, stop the breathing, promote established shock. Write that down. Doesn't really have anything to do with football.
Right.
Either way, next up, Iowa, which doesn't exist and is not a good football team, at Northwestern, which is an even worse football team. This isn't a game that anybody should watch.
Nope.
If you're looking for maybe the first tight end taken in the draft, you might see him for Iowa. Maybe. I don't know who their tight end is this year, but there's at least some chance.
Corn-fed fucking guy.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's a bunch of nerds at Northwestern.
Yeah.
That's why my grandfather got his fucking psychiatry doctorate. It's not where you go to fucking play football. They had like 2 or 3 good seasons in football.
They were okay in the 90s.
Then they joined the fucking the Big Ten, and now people just like, oh, the fucking Big Ten, they're a Power 5 team, man. So's Vanderbilt, bro.
Right.
So shut the fuck up. I don't know about this line, 12.
Who cares?
I mean, whatever.
Hey, Dan, why is Iowa ranked?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's a conspiracy by the pro-Iowa lobby trying to convince us that Iowa's
real. You know
real.
who the head of the college football playoff is this year?
No.
It's the AD of Iowa.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. How is that even legal? Hire an outside person to do that.
Get
Right.
Condoleezza Rice back.
Yeah, I mean, look, Condoleezza Rice was really good at it.
Yeah, so Iowa is ranked because their dude is on the fucking committee.
That's stupid.
What was that? I forgot what else I was going to say about Iowa. Oh, what I was going to say was I know you shouldn't watch this game for aesthetic reasons alone, but don't watch this game because don't give Iowa TV ratings for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't want to see them on television next year. Let's boycott Iowa and also murder Craig Dulesky because he won't shut the fuck up about Iowa, which is not real. Next up, Boise State at Fresno State. This is actually a good game.
It's a Delco special, too.
If it was in Boise, I would probably take Boise, but I think Fresno at -5 is probably good here.
Dan, these boys better than anybody.
Yeah, I actually like Fresno here too.
What do you like? What do you think about the over? Fresno can score, and the over-under is at 60.
Boise lets people down a lot this year.
Yeah.
They do. And, as much as Fresno can score, they're topping out at around 33, something like that.
Yeah.
Here as of late. And I don't think you should expect Boise to make up the other 27, to be honest. I mean, I would probably take the under in this game.
All right.
Fresno +5.
Yeah, Fresno's going to have like a fun, good year that no one cares about.
Yeah.
And like Fresno State alum.
They're like 4 or 5 years behind Cincinnati, man.
Yeah.
Like Cincinnati and I guess if UCF had not had all their players get murdered over the last several years, they may be in that talk as well.
That is true. All of our players are hurt.
Yeah, but maybe Fresno State 2 or 3 years from now, people start taking them seriously after they show continued success against good teams. I don't know.
They do this like once every 7 years.
Yeah.
Where they have a really good team.
Well, maybe they can string something together. Next up, Oregon at Washington. -7 Oregon. Don't bet on the trap 12. Oregon will probably lose this game. to be honest.
This is a sketchy one.
Yeah. This is one that Oregon, I don't mean the game against Washington. I mean, this is a game that Oregon loses every year, which is they're ranked, they're looking good, they're in the CFP hunt. Whoops.
Yeah.
Slipped on a fucking banana peel and stabbed myself up my own fucking ass.
I mean, it feels that a one-score line feels like a fucking trap.
Yeah. No fucking way I'm betting that game. Dan, you betting that game?
It's in Seattle. Who knows what the weather's going to be like November fucking 6th.
It's the only game, by
Washington.
the way, on this entire fucking board that doesn't have the weather listed next to it, and that is a function of it being in Seattle. Yeah. Fuck that place.
I feel like Oregon already had that game, though, against Stanford.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Maybe they just kind of go, error-free the rest of the way.
Are they reinvigorated at all by the fact that LOL we're in the playoff hunt somehow? Like all we have to do is win now and we're in?
Yeah, it's like waking up. You've committed a litany of crimes and you wake up and you've been voted mayor. The fuck is this bullshit? Yeah, you're probably right. Oregon will probably win this game. 7. I'll take it to 6.5 and bet it. Why not?
Yeah,
but I'm not betting on Oregon. Ross ended up with fucking green tracksuit and fucking blonde hair last year because of them, or 2 years ago. Night games, the other night game rather, on Fox is Indiana at Michigan. I don't know about this one either. I mean, I don't trust Michigan. It's -20 Michigan. I don't trust Michigan to blow out anybody right now.
They've had some blowouts this year, though.
They have, for sure. I just don't. I think that's they're one of the more inconsistent teams. Indiana was way overrated, right? I mean, like, comically
way
so.
overrated, yes. So actually, interestingly, like Michigan would have covered this against Washington and against Northwestern, but that's it. I'm sorry, and against Wisconsin.
Yeah, against Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah, Harbaugh's kind of like a extreme version of Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
Like a much more polished version of Josh
Yeah.
Heupel.
How many years in a row? It's been 8 years. Well, they didn't play last year, so it's been 8 years, but 7 times in a row he's lost to Ohio State personally, right?
But he beats the shit out of that team.
Yeah. I kind of like this Michigan line at 20.
20s is too much for Michigan for me, but I understand that bet. That's I would be if we'll see how I feel. If I'm bored Saturday night, I'll probably look into betting this.
You also, for what it's worth, if Michigan gets off schedule early, you might be able to get a live line like down at like 14 or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep an eye on that. Next up is the junkie bet. It's and this is the true junkie bet because not only is it 2 Mountain West teams, not as 2 fucking full-on West Coast teams, but it's in Hawaii, right? Which means it's at 10 p.m. Or 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. San Diego State at Hawaii. Hawaii just hasn't been doing it, though. They don't have the offense they usually do.
They do it on the island, though. Like, they suck on the road. You come to Hawaii, they somehow catch you. They beat Fresno
That's
on
true,
the island,
yeah.
so.
That's true. But they only scored fucking 27 points in that game.
Yeah, they're not. Todd Graham is a little bit different than their traditional Hawaii coach. Likes to run the ball.
It's San Diego State -7 on the road. Obviously, the weather's going to be Hawaii weather, 85 and sun. This one I don't know about. I don't know what I want to do here.
Yeah, this is tough. I kind of think, man. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I say Hawaii covers.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they win, but they definitely cover something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet that until I wake up from my drunken stupor Saturday evening and then, better bet it.
It's like I dug myself into a hole all day.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of games. Hawaii saved me.
Well, we'll see. Last week in college, I was 10-4. So if I'm 10-4 going into this game, I'm definitely not going to bet it and ruin that.
Right.
But
Let it all ride.
yeah,
Hawaii.
didn't Ross do that? He let like fucking $14,000 ride from some bet he won and lost the whole thing.
Probably.
I think that was 2 years ago. Anyways, well, that's it for this week on college football. Is there any actual news in college football?
Just Gary Patterson's gone from TCU after like 20 years there.
Saban's talking about being disrespected by LSU in the press, so they might fucking win by 70 points.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. He loves beating the shit out of LSU.
He's an
He
asshole.
loves saying that. He's run that play multiple times throughout a year.
Yeah. How can anybody say you? Like, do you think this is the problem I have with religion? Okay. Some like the most powerful being in the universe is up there worried about what the fuck I said. How could that be possible, man? That guy, you have to be a fucking real like pussy. Like, you'd have to be really emotionally unstable to care about that. I don't think Nick Saban. I agree with you. I don't think Nick Saban gives two fucks what anybody says.
Right.
He cares about winning titles.
He does it to motivate himself and to motivate the players.
Yeah, for sure.
Because after you win so much, it probably just gets fucking boring.
Well, that's what I was going to say, actually, is, if there's a God that exists infinitely, at some point, you've got to, fill the days, right?
You got to do something, yeah, I suppose. I mean, shit. I thought this was just like the Truman Show, though, where he just watches do weird shit all the time.
Beating off.
I mean, to be honest, it would be pretty funny to be able to spy on people all the time because people do weird shit.
Yeah. I like that dogma line where they just watch your faces during sex.
Yeah. R.I.P. But it would be fun to just be able to. I mean, I would be the worst God of all time. Like, I would try to stop all the suffering and shit, but if you were walking down the road eating an ice cream, I would smack that shit out of your hand. Just like the wind blew it out of your hand. You're like, what the fuck, man? I would do that every single day, and I would never get tired of doing it.
Just mild suffering?
Not even suffering, just like mild irritation.
Yeah, a series of hilarious inconveniences.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do it at the end of the day when you're coming home with a tray of drinks at McDonald's for your family or some shit like that and knock it all out of your hand, because then you're like, that's shit that'll make you kill yourself. I'm not trying to do that. Just like you're bored in the middle of the afternoon, so you go to the park and get an ice cream or something. You're sitting there watching pigeons fly around, and I just smack the ice cream right into your lap.
Right.
Fuck you. You're not enjoying your life, motherfucker. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not allowed near high schools, if you were talking about me. Anyways, that was the college show. We're done for the week, except for the UFC show, I think, that goes up tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. And then the Failure to Stop will be tomorrow.
And then APP at 12:30.
APP. But we don't have a Jack Sesh this week, right? Isn't he out of town?
He's out of town.
Yeah, so sorry about the Jack Sesh. We are working on a new cooking show and some other stuff. And remember that we're going to be converting. The baseball show will happen either Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday, for college basketball preview. So stay tuned for all that. And in the meantime, we'll see you in hell. Giorgio, do you have something to say?